Welcome to the Atlanta Wellness Clinic podcast, hosted by licensed nutritionist and clinic owner Catina Wilson. We're here to kickstart your weight loss journey because let's be honest, the only thing we want gaining weight is our wallets. From medical weight loss and nutrition coaching to body contouring, we help Metro Atlanta women get real results. Let's dive in.
Diet trends come and go, but personalized nutrition coaching is built for lasting success. Let's explore how expert guidance can transform weight loss goals into lifelong healthy habits. Hello, everyone. Millie Ann back in the studio here. I am co-host and producer with licensed nutritionist and clinic owner Catina Wilson. How's it going, Catina?
Hello. It's going great. How are you today?
I'm excited for this conversation because nutrition coaching is such a game changer for sustainable weight management. How can nutrition coaching help improve long-term weight management?
Great question. A good coach is going to teach you not only what to eat, but when to eat, why it's important for your body, why what you're eating may be harmful to your body. They're also going to help dig into different kinds of behaviors that are blocking you from long-term success. Mm-hmm. They're also going to serve as an accountability partner, someone that's not only going to hold you accountable, but also not going to judge you along the way when you maybe fall short, right? They're going to help figure out what caused that and to help kind of build you up, along the way. So a good coach looks at it holistically from what you're putting into body, why you're putting it into your body, how you're doing it. They're giving you the knowledge, they're giving you the support, they're giving you the accountability.
And so that personalization is what makes the coaching different than a standard diet plan?
Yes. I mean, I could tell you, go eat some chicken and some broccoli, and yeah, you'll probably lose some weight, but you'll also probably get bored with it and then end up gaining a lot of weight back because you're like, well, what else can I eat? Right.
I'm going to cheat.
We get a lot of people here that will say like, I just want to know like what to eat, or should I just do like a low carb diet and only eat meat and things like that? And unfortunately, many of those diets are just not sustainable for people because what happens when you decide you want a piece of bread, or what happens when you decide you want to go out and have a nice dinner, with your spouse or with your friends, or whether you want to go on vacation. Like, do you really want to be kind of depriving yourself when you're on vacation? So no. So a good coach can really help you kind of navigate kind of like those types of things, right? And so yes, meal planning certainly is a part of it. But again, I think what's more important is it's not just what you eat, but it's like when you eat, why you're eating what you're eating, what it's doing to your body, whether it's the good things or the bad things, right? And again, it's more of a holistic approach.
So you talked about those moments with family and friends. Vacation, I think the diet goes completely out the window. So what role does accountability play in sticking with healthier habits?
Yeah. So, one of the things that we like to do, we do weekly check-ins, but even when I was going through the journey myself, I was doing daily check-ins with my coach, right? Because again, as you're learning what whole foods look like, what amount of food you should be taking in, right? Having somebody kind of take a look to say like, do you really need those nuts that are coated in a bunch of stuff, which was always my problem, right?
Yeah.
Maybe try some without, the coating, and maybe Catina, don't eat the entire bag, maybe only eat like a fourth of a cup and eat them slowly, like as we've talked about before, right? So a coach is going to be there to hold you accountable along the way with regular check-ins, but not only to make sure you're on track, but when you're getting off track, well, let's talk about like, well, why you're getting off track, right? Has something changed in your day or in your week or in your life that's causing you to go off track? Or maybe you are planning for some sort of vacation. And so how do you navigate that? Because you want to be able to enjoy those moments like with your family and your friends, right? You want to be able to enjoy that vacation. And food, a lot of times, at least for me it is, food a lot of times is a part of, that enjoyment process. So how do you navigate that without completely like falling off track? And that's where a good coach will come in and help.
And how does the nutrition coaching adapt to individual health conditions or goals?
So give me an example when you say individual health conditions. Give me an example.
Well, let's just say a person, I don't know. Let me rephrase the question. I know once a month I'm going to want ice cream or sugar or chocolate of some sort. Let me ask you this, how do you fight, or how can you utilize a nutrition coach in fighting those battles when those cravings are getting strong?
Yeah, that's probably triggered since it's once a month. That's probably triggered by hormones.
Right.
So why fight it? We know it's going to happen. And one of the things that I tell people is maybe you don't step on the scale that month because you know that time of the month, because when you step on the scale, you're automatically probably gained like 5 or 6 pounds, even though you're probably doing everything right. There's nothing wrong with, even with having a coach, there's nothing wrong with having ice cream. Do we want it every day? Do we want it at every meal? No. But again, a good coach will help you create kind of a lifestyle so that you can have, whether it's once a month or on your vacation, where you can have like those treats, those healthy treats. One of the things that I like to do is after you've had a successful week, why not have a splurge meal? Not a splurge day, right? I'm like, oh, I've gotten to the end of the week. Let me splurge the entire day. But a nice splurge meal. And that could be date night, like with your husband or your partner, right? Where you're celebrating those success. Having a nice treat is a healthy part of going through a transformational journey like weight loss, because if you restrict yourself to the point where you never get to have a treat, it becomes extremely hard, it becomes extremely burdensome, and then when you fall off track, it messes with your mind mentally. And then when you fall off the wagon, you just fall completely off the
You're
wagon.
done for 30 days. It's ice cream.
You're just done. You give up, and I'll start again, and I'll try again next month, right? So there's nothing wrong with having that treat of ice cream like once a month. I think it's all about moderation, and a coach can kind of help you plan those treats again in moderation. Throughout your week, throughout your month, they can help you prepare for that big event that's coming up where you want to be able to splurge a little bit more.
Makes sense. So what common mistakes do people make when they're trying to manage their weight alone? So we talk about the benefits of having a coach. What are the mistakes that you can make when you're doing it all by yourself?
All or nothing, right? When you're ready to go, you're ready to go all in, right? You're ready to go all in. You're going hard at the gym. All of a sudden, you go from 0 to 2 hours in the gym. You go from eating Reese cups and Doritos and pizza to carrots and baked chicken and maybe an egg. They just go all in. And I think on one hand, I mean, it's admirable, but it's not sustainable, right? So I think like when most people start, you need to start gradually, right? It's baby steps. You didn't get to the situation that you're in overnight. And so it's important to create a plan, work with somebody in creating that plan. Again, having kind of small goals along the way, because you're not going to lose 25 pounds in a week, right? Yeah. But you might lose like 1 or 2. And over time, and I know it's so frustrating. And when people hear that, like 1.5 pounds a week, it sounds so frustrating. But if you do it the right way, before you know it, you're at 20 pounds, you're at 25 pounds, you're at 30 pounds, right? And so it's about creating a plan that's sustainable, right? Working with somebody that's going to hold you accountable, having an opportunity to have those good treats, those small wins along the way, right? So that it keeps you motivated. It gives you something to look forward to. That's what's important.
Nothing wrong with rewarding yourself. I like that. So how can nutrition coaching work alongside medical weight loss treatments?
Here's the thing. The medicine's going to do its part. We've talked about that before. The medicine's going to do its part with helping you eat less. This is your opportunity to learn better habits. It's now your opportunity to learn like whatever got you here in the first place. So what were the things, that were happening in your life that caused you to overeat, that caused you to make unhealthy, unsustainable choices, that caused you to choose like a diet and then you gained it all back, right? Mm-hmm. So use this opportunity. You've got the medicine as in your toolbox to help you with managing how much you eat. It's not going to tell you like what to eat, but it is going to help manage like what you put in. You use the coach to start making clean, healthy choices along the way. And so they really work great, as a partnership. The goal is you don't want to be on these medicines for the rest of your life. So use this opportunity to create new habits, to learn more about what good nutrition looks like, and to create a sustainable lifestyle where just because you decide to have that ice cream in the middle of the month, it doesn't completely throw you off plan.
Your insights are invaluable. Thank you so much for your wisdom. We'll see everybody on the next episode.
All right. Thank you.
That's a wrap on this episode of the Atlanta Wellness Clinic podcast. If you're ready to kickstart your weight loss journey, and not just your bathroom scale and frustration, visit atlwellnessclinic.com or call us at 770-726-8978 for a free 10-minute weight loss consultation. Because the best time to start was yesterday. The second best time? Right now. See you next time.